Hello, everybody. We're here for daily death run number 21. Whew. Things are things are all right. I just had to hold off on recording this for a minute because we had a group of school kids pass in front of the house at 11 in the morning. Sip of coffee. Something about a field trip or a walk for gym class or whatever. I don't know. None of my business. But a lot of screaming, noisy stuff. Middle school kid things. I think they're middle schoolers. I don't know. I had an issue growing up where, like, it seemed, at least in the area I lived in, that each generation or each grade started off, like, the kids in the last grade were definitely smaller than, like, I was, and that seemed to just continue, and kids just kept being smaller and smaller, and then I grew up, and it was like, maybe it's because I was getting bigger and my perceptions changed, but no, they really are, like, kids are actually smaller. Like, what? And I don't know, it was weird. Man, I was a troublemaker, or I wasn't necessarily a troublemaker. Someone would make trouble and find it with me. You know, uh, I was pretty fighty. I was not the one to start it, but when someone wanted it, they got it, and that was not a good thing. But I was an angry child, and a bunch of the kids that I went to school with were also angry children. Things weren't necessarily great in that town. I was in a significantly better situation than most of them. It just happened that I was physically tougher. So when kids wanted to fight, they got it. They they got it. It was not something I'm proud of. I mean, not when I was younger, not now. But so what was that? Fifth place? Fifth place. All right. Writing that down. But there's this interesting thing as guys, which everyone I fought, we always ended up closer after that, even if we like genuinely wished death upon the other beforehand. We would be in a better state after kicking the snot out of each other, you know. And it's not something I'd condone, you know, as a grown man, because now after a certain point you get strong enough that you could, and it's not like an abnormal strength. Just about every guy has the strength, most women too, to my knowledge, to do some serious, like, irreversible damage to another person if they threw a good punch. And so, like, I can't, I'm not saying it's a good thing, right? Just that as kids that seemed to work, and it shouldn't really. I didn't get a single person with that. I don't know. See, I think it's because our situation there was pretty unique. Like, that town, there was not much to do and a lot of people having a really bad time. Like I said, I was in a significantly better state than most people that I went to school with, or a better way of living, at least. Things weren't good in that town. And bad situations, bad living situations have a way of maybe, I don't want to say like changing how people react, right? Or but like it seems like they enhance the possible positive or negative traits of a person. Like some of these people became some of the, some of the sweetest people that I will ever know, and some of them became like monsters, and it feels like in that place a lot of people just, man, a lot of people needed a hug, and a lot of us knew it, and you know I'm just, my siblings go to the same school that I did, and I'm so glad that things aren't like that now, because it was fine. Like, we worked through it, right? As a class, like, small class, small school, small town. We worked through our, like, the individual's problems pretty well, or as well as we were capable of. Some of them, you know, but the school as it's grown, because it's not a big school, but for the area it's, I think, the biggest now. But and it's lost that sort of ability to, like, that closeness between classmates, from what I hear. And that also might be a side effect of, like, the internet and all that, because I did grow up in the internet age. It's just there was a significantly stronger emphasis on spending time with people, I guess. And things have changed, and niches have grown stronger. When I was like, there was niches, there was the groups, right? Individuals and all that, falling into their circles with their people. But as a whole, we were able to cross those lines pretty easily and get to know each other. We didn't start off separate, and we didn't intentionally separate ourselves, I guess, is what I'm going for there. Um, so as we grew, we did separate a bit. We still knew that guy, and that guy still knew us. That's how it was, and that played a big role in reeling in a lot of negative traits that a lot of people have that would be boosted by the separation from different people, by being stuffed into a box. Like, when I said earlier that in a couple of them, it seems to exaggerate the bad traits and the good traits. Yes, I still stand by that. But it also goes to show that, like, only a couple of people turned out really bad. A lot of them went through their rough times already, and now in their early 20s are maybe not off perfect and still rough around the edges, but they're just vastly better people than they were as they've stabilized. Only a couple of people there do I think could have ever, like, I could call bad people. They got through their bad times already because they were able to, they weren't able to talk about it. Like, people struggled to talk about it, but everyone saw it, I guess, if that makes sense. Something about the town, there's a lot of problems. I'm gonna say that. But a lot of the kids, like, sort of bonded over that. A lot of people knew what was wrong, you know. Everyone was able to see it. And as kids, this is one of the great things about kids. We, even when we couldn't understand what was wrong with somebody, we still tried. As adults, and I've noticed this in myself, I don't try as hard as I used to. Like I will still go out of my way a bit, but like I got my own life, man. And that's just how I think about it when I'm not like being consciously aware of it. Back then it was like that stuff lived in my head, when someone was having a rough time, that was what can I do about it? What can we do about it? I know people like to be incredibly like there's the I hate kids. They don't hate you, and it's not because you're a good person. you know that's how I see it. I just i don't know. I'm glad that the school has changed, because it could have had some incredibly like the environment. It's not necessarily the school itself, it's the environment of the town as a whole. I'm glad it's changed because it is improving. It is. Um, you know, and that my siblings don't have to deal with that going to the same school I used to. The school has grown. Um, I still think small schools are better. It's just the town that I went to school in. It wasn't easy being a kid there for most of my classmates. A couple of them were spoiled, but like a lot of people had a lot of problems. I don't know. One of my big regrets is that I didn't like really hang on to any of my classmates. The I only really talked to one of them, and it's because he was my best friend. We are now separate states. But we still talk, right? And that's more than a lot of people do when they move out of state. They just start anew. But I feel like I could have done more to hang on to the limited bonds that we had there. I almost made it back up. Last run of the day, sip of coffee. I didn't mean to drag y'all down memory lane, but I already did, so deal with it. I don't keep up with my old classmates, but I hope they're doing well, because, like I said, most of them are really good people. And there's the ones that aren't. They've already found out. Whoo! We skipped that trap. Gimme. Let's get over this. There. Ooh, ooh, Yes. They're stuck with me. Ah, man, now I'm not. Now everyone's ahead of me because I took the first jump. Oh, by the way, I know it sounded real sad when I mentioned I didn't really keep in touch with my old friends, but I have friends, other friends that I had before I moved that I still also talk to. It's just I only talk to one of the people I went to school with. Yeah. Ooh. Oliver, buddy, what are you doing down there? You butt, I'm trying to play Deathrun. Ooh, baby. Second place for the last run of the day. Second. Yeah, it's been a rough day. but that last one saved me. I'll catch y'all on the next one.